This is true. It does always come down to bayonets. With that, an arm-wrenching reach up the backside of his coat and pulled out a bayonet. No one made one motion of apprehension around him as he boldly made the knife make that tempered steel-on-steel sound by yanking the blade from his metal scabbard, holding it high to display it. From the Grey War is a German butcher blade. Notice how the shank is smaller than the business end. The old man's hands lived. Then he spoke. Sorry, you probably don't like people touching it. I give it to you. As Wing put the blade back in his case and handed both to the old man, he rose to receive it. Wow, thanks. That gasp was unexpected. Look, everyone, from the time of bunkers, the Great War, like our lives. He handed the weapon around for all to see, and each took a reverent turn at taking the blade out and putting it back. Some had to do a little jabbing with it. More than one tried it out of their gun to see if it would fit. Just as Coal Hole's Lazarus was about to speak again, there did come a yell. Shaft, oh man, shaft, it fits, it fits. The knife had found a mate. The match was brought forward by a young man, the bayonet scabbard reverently carried by that same little girl whose gun was autographed. And what a shock to discover about this parent-to-child rifle. Everyone had to caress it, and after they did, it passed back into the crowd. Shaft swung around to Wing and looked at him sternly. Do you want something from us? Moonshine whiskey! Is that all? Nothing more valuable? Some of these mines were gold mines. Came fiercely. I'd like something that you yourself would pick out. Something a little roweled and potent. I'll pick out something that makes you forget you've got balls. I hope that means what I think it means. I really like my balls. Then a party started as they walked toward a mine entrance. Lester and Earl following as puppies would. Raven stayed on the rig, studied every step taken. The party was a slow-motion waltz to the mournful movement of wind in a narrow valley. There were no musical instruments to disturb their love of the sounds born out of the world, clattering falling rocks, echoes, and dripping water. It was a side of the Coal Hole people that most didn't get to see. Snake oil sales parked themselves at a pleasant spot by a stream, and Wing entered the mine. As he started drinking, he set a little aside in his pocket. This was, of course, noticed. Don't worry, there is plenty. Oh, no, it's not that. It's for my friend, the bird. He loves good moonshine. I'd invite him in, but he's the outdoor type. The talk of the times continued for several hours. It was mixed company. The Coal Hole families never broke off into smaller, similar interest groups. No one ever left lonely. They described the beauty of the caves, but wanted to hear how the land was different in all the places the show traveled over. Each time they turned to each other, the talk of the top was to give insight for speculation about the bottom. How deep the leaf litter to bedrock, how much rotted rock to go through to get to a solid medium, whether the emptied spaces would require support beams or not. Talk too of the state of the world, the disparaging separation of humanity, of the wars and the bombs that made everything live and keep changing, making keeping track of friend and foe a crapshoot. Out of the dim light, Wing's drinking was admired, and he described the swally. Take too little and you're sipping. This isn't tea, and we ain't training wheels tacked to our asses sissies playing tag with the taste. Take too much and you'd be better off to hammer your head with a hammer. In either case, good whiskey is wasted. The right amount will wash completely over your tongue thickly. Swallow in a single movement of the throat, then tighten the top of the throat, and the vapors will come back up into the sinuses and out the nose. So sweet to smell. You will breathe better, and you feel like your privates are growing hair as thick as grizzly bear fur. The men roared, The girls gaily giggled. The ladies laughed before they could stop themselves and then tried to pretend they hadn't. Too late. The flashed smile said anything anyone wanted to hear to each of them. This no-home man was so naughty. After happily demonstrating the swally several times, "Hey, have you ever offered the Hoovers a drink?" "What? Are you nuts?" wore a worried voice. "They want to kill us. Keep saying bad seed and blasting. We got to get them some of this. It'll do them some good." "Please, don't make fun of our problems, mister." "I ain't. I've had a few bouts with the boys, even circumcised one. And I'm telling you, there ain't the gun in the world that they're afraid of. But they are at about the end of their programming tether, if you know what I mean." And a big wink out to everyone. "No," droned back. They didn't have a clue about his meaning. "Haven't they done anything different? Haven't they sounded different? Anything?" A boy stepped forward, and people parted as if they knew he would. Before speaking, the lad tidied himself up, adjusting tatters, spit on his palms, and slicked down hair that was already flat on his head, shyly. "I saw one of them try to mount a mule." The community cringed. It was so disgusting. The boy blinked, bobbed, and nodded his head in the same loping way he spoke. "It was a few days ago. They were being bad. They kept putting their heads together and going around the poor dear. Then they kind of corralled her in, and one of them, the one with the gun that looked a little different from the others, humped her 2 times. And he sang in a different voice after." Wow, yeah. Now that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Easy to call that strange. You see, they've been in the wild running errands, and they're changing too. They are sick of the settlements and beginning to see options for themselves. They got too much going on to be stuck serving a bunch of candy asses. They're breaking down and the owners don't know it. They want a life. How do we kill them?